Well, just do it.
I am.
I think she's new. Not that I get many calls.
Don, were you talking to Nikki? Were you talking to Nikki?
Just wondered, there she is. Just wondered if there any needs.
When you came in,
Oh, no, I wasn't. No. Hi, how are you? Oh, I'm sorry. Go, show. Call the bills. You got this. How are you?
I talked to Irene. I expressed her how disappointed I was that she wouldn't take the time to come and yell at me in my own.
Hey, how are you? She yelled at me.
I don't recognize you back.
She's like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, what are you talking about?
Because you didn't know us any money. And she should have known, like everybody else that got closed, that there has never been 100.
Did you go to the committee meeting last year? Anything go on? Oh, really?
no, not really.
Well, we'll talk about it.
Just, they did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, 35.
Yeah. The other guy dropped us all that.
Did I know him, Rob?
Opportunities.
Yeah, get sworn in, yeah.
That we have to.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you ready, Nikki?
Bob, are we, is it 6?
It's going to be.
It's going to be? Hang
Let
on.
me ask you, Pete. I'll find out for sure.
Come on.
Hang on.
We got.
Yeah, I had called Tina to get her to make proxies.
Go down by me. I'll be down. I'll be down. Yeah, go down here. Come down here. Here, come here. You sit there. I'll be on the end. Yeah, you'll be on the end.
Okay, folks, welcome to our February board meeting. Before we get started on the regular board meeting, we have a public hearing, which we'll get to in a second. But would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. As I said, we have a public hearing tonight dated February 7th, 6 p.m. at 130 Ovid Street. This will be regarding the adoption of proposed local law number 1 for the year 2023. This local law will amend the town code to provide for the appointment of alternative members of the Planning Board, Zoning Board of Appeals, and the Heritage Preservation Commission. Copies of the above law were found in the town clerk's office. Can I have a motion to open the public hearing, please?
I make a motion.
Second?
A second.
At this time, we are open for public comment. Before anybody speaks, if they want to speak, I want to have Attorney Morrell just give you a little bit of background on this. This is a public hearing based on our planning, zoning, committee that meets on a regular basis based on the needs of what these people have come and told us. So,
Sure.
Attorney Morrell, please.
Thank you. So our town code currently provides for alternate members and currently provides for the situations where they can be appointed to act at a particular board meeting. The proposed local law expands the ability for their appointment. Currently, it's limited to when there's only where there's situations where the board would not have a quorum, so the appointment would just get them to have a quorum. The proposed local law allows their appointment anytime there's a board member that's missing, so that the board can act with a full complement of members. And it provides the ability for these alternate members to gain some experience and to participate in the boards that they've been named alternates to. It also gives our applicants the ability to have their applications considered by a full complement of board members, rather than just limiting it to, because if there's an appointment and just a bare quorum, then there's 3 people, and then you either have a unanimous vote or you have nothing. So this allows for more opportunity for these alternate members to participate. And so there's 3 sections to the local law to address the 3 different boards: the Planning Board, the Zoning Board of Appeals, and the Heritage Preservation Commission. That's what this law is about.
Thank you. Anybody like to speak at the public hearing? With that, can I have a motion to close the public hearing?
I make the motion.
A second?
Second.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to call the regular board meeting to order. Town Clerk Greer, would you please take a roll call?
Ryan Ferrara,
Here.
John Dyson.
Here.
Caitlin Liscasky.
Here.
Frank Seneca.
Here.
Steve Churchill.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. I'd like to welcome some family members coming in for some 2 police recruits that we have. Hopefully we'll get board approved tonight. I apologize, it's at the end of our meeting, and it's a long meeting, so I hope you're comfortable. It'll only be about 3 hours long. No, we're going to do that. We're going to do that right off the bat. I have a resolution here, whereas during the January 3rd, 2023 regularly scheduled town board meeting, the town board approved the resignation of Sergeant Davids. Since the January 3rd board, the Seneca Falls Police Department has been actively recruiting, interviewing, and conducting background. Therefore, be it resolved that the town board accept backfilling the vacant full-time police officer position with Umberto Flores III at contractual hourly rate of $24.71, and to authorize the tuition amount of $4,000 to be paid to the Finger Lakes Law Enforcement Police Academy. Have a motion for that, please?
Make a motion.
And second?
I'll second.
Discussion. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Umberto, congratulations. We're going to swear you in here in a second. The second resolution is, again, during the December 6th, 2022 meeting, the town board accepted the resignation of Sergeant Sebastian Gentile. Therefore, be it resolved that the town board accept backfilling the vacant full-time police officer position with Mitchell Meston at the contractual hourly rate of $24.71, and to authorize a tuition amount of $4,000 to be paid to the Finger Lakes Law Enforcement Police Academy. The funds are budgeted and will come out of the 2023 budget. Police recruit Meston will begin work on March 20th at the Finger Lakes Law Enforcement Academy. Have a motion for that, please? Thank you. And second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
So carried. Mitchell, congratulations to you and Umberto. And welcome to Seneca Falls. Town Clerk Greer, can you swear these young men in? Congratulations. Congratulations, Mike Farrar. Come on up here, you're going to get sworn in the office.
All right, who wants to be first? You want? stand, please? You want to face the audience? I don't know whether they want to take pictures or not.
Sure.
I can push the other, but that's all right. I'm just going to stand right here.
Okay.
Okay? Nikki, do you want me to move the table so you can get in there? That would be nice. Thank you. You're welcome. Okay. Repeat after me, please. I, Humberto J. Flores III, do solemnly swear
I, Umberto J. Flores III, do solemnly swear
to support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York,
to support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of New York,
and to faithfully discharge the duties of
and faithfully discharge the duties of Seneca Falls
police officer for the town of Seneca Falls
Police Officer for the Town of Seneca Falls Police Department
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. Repeat after me, please. I, Mitchell Meston,
I, Mitchell Meston,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York,
to support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and to faithfully discharge the duties of
to faithfully discharge the duties of
police officer for the town of Seneca Falls Police Department
police officer for the Town of Seneca Falls Police Department
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Gentlemen, I'll give you the license plate to my car after a while.
As far as the packet,
To Seneca Falls Country Club,
You put a sticker on it.
Okay, folks, thanks for coming and congratulations to your families.
Thank you.
Okay, at this time, we have put out the bid for heavy equipment rental for the highway department. We received one bid for that. It's DeGeorge Construction from Canastota, New York. I will have Attorney Morrell review this, and we will get back to DeGeorge Construction. And we also put out a bid for tree removal, and we received one bid for that as well. And Mickey, I have no idea. Do you? Oh, okay. It's from Lumber Mat Tree Service, and I'll also have Attorney Morrell look at that as well.
You have to review them now, so
All
you
right.
can make a decision later.
Okay. So Nick, I don't have a resolution for the next one, right? Planning board?
We gotta go to petitions.
Pardon? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm ahead of my
Petitions, way
time.
down.
Yep. All right, booking bids, do we have any petitioners tonight who wants to speak to the board? Okay.
Where do I go? Here?
The podium up here, Councilwoman Laskowski has a microphone for you. Please make sure you state your name and address.
Good evening, board. My name is Mike Osterhout. I live in Waterloo. I'm here tonight as a former employee of the highway department. A few weeks ago was, how do I say, I was accused of
Mr. Halsall, can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
Is this going to be a personnel issue?
No, sir.
It's not going to discuss anybody personnel-wise?
Just maybe one, but it's nothing discriminating.
Well, I just want to remind you that any personnel issue would be something that is not a public matter. It would be something that would be an executive session. You're more than welcome. We are going to executive session tonight. You'd be more than welcome if you had a discussion about a person who works for the town. You'd be more than welcome to address the board in executive session.
Okay, I guess can I say what I gotta say, and then if you feel it's that way, we
As
can
long as there's
way?
not names brought into the situation or titles.
Well, it's kinda hard to address.
That's what I'm
situation.
saying. So it's a personnel issue, so you can address the board in executive session if you'd like.
Okay. I guess we'll have to do it that way, because I don't know how to.
Okay. You want to cover everything? I can't cover everything in executive session. I'm going to vote twice. Okay.
I have one thing, that's all.
All right, so, okay, go ahead, Frank. Make a motion to go into executive
Make a
session.
motion, we go into executive session and give Mike standard 5 minutes, we give everybody to speak.
To discuss the personnel issue. I'll second that. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, anybody opposed? Okay, we'll be right back, folks.
Anyway, nice new shirt. Thanks. You keep them good. Yeah, I work them to death. I ain't aware about this. Yeah, I didn't tell her. Right now it's in airplane mode.
Going on? Thank you.
So you're working in this? What do you think not? I saw you this afternoon. I don't know, about 12:30 or so. Riding by the post office. Yeah, I was on some errand. Out and about. Otherwise, I'm trying to, our friend is going to do a video of me playing. So, I'm kind of rearranging things at home so I can practice. Gotta make it sound good. Posted on the different sites. Public sites. Trying to get a gig. Yeah. So I'm talking with them at the school hotel. Yeah, you'll see. It's kind of tough there. We got a place me to play, you know? Because the columns are all right. Well, they opened up. Oh, did they? Yeah. I haven't been in there, so I don't know. Yeah, they took a large area and opened up. Sure. So no, easy. There are a couple of times. Historical Society, Bill was always saying, oh, it's hard to tried to help us someplace else. Really isn't any place around, other than probably a lot of it. Well, they got panels in the ceiling now. Oh, do they? Yeah. I think they're new. Because we had the wonderful light, wonderful light thing there, and big path. Things are from the field. You get a lot of people all bets are off. That's good because you know, we're very interested. Yeah. Because at this time we're living in technology. Talk about ministry of schools. Who? Technova? Yes, we are. I remember his mother. She taught. Yeah. Yeah, she did. Was it his mother? No. It was his aunt that I knew. I'll be on my. You know who Joe Sandova is? That would be her. I don't know. Last day, before she married the congressman. They did a fish fry. By the time I get home from Rochester, it's almost 6 o'clock. How's she doing? She's good at eating release. Probably come home with a walker, or at least a cake. That's my sister-in-law. What do they put on her sister? She's in I used to do it for 36. Amy was on the group. They wanted to one corner. One of the larger
She was not impressed that we didn't
every day for 5 days.
That's true sometimes.
Keep your dream up there. I don't know. Mount Hope Cemetery, right across the street. I'm thinking up in here. You want the front door right now.
No, yeah, no, I agree.
It's good.
Yeah.
Redoing it now.
Yeah, I couldn't even walk from my car with my phone. I took her home, raised her gas. Walking from the house, feels like everything better. Yeah, and then the snow trips were so easy.
More than that.
So it's just getting better. So happy to get home and stay. Oh my gosh.
That's been my wish for the West. Did you get your irrigation ditch? Or your drainage ditch? All done? Everything is good?
Yeah, but it was really muddy.
Oh, yeah.
So I didn't. Well, I don't like the way it went back together. We'll see this summer. See when it dries out. See how fast it dries out.
Tiles in?
Plastic tiles here, 4 inches around. Then I put fabric around it. slow the progression of dirt.
I did that where the stones are in the back. Pipe it. Then, perforate it on the top where that falls on there. Yeah, well,
Well, Claire and I just found out where the outlet sump pump is at your son's place. I thought it would be straight out. No, it's way that thickens off to the side and then into a ditch.
I'll tell you, I've got to remove mine. Cause, I had a firm come in and, every dry, sort of pump it out of the big easement, but I didn't get water real bad, but enough to, I wanted to finish the basement, which I did, but I didn't want it to be bone dry. Come to find out, Jill stopped sitting this one time, and I said, damn, what you got?
Why is that?
Because it's not supposed to go into storm drains. So that's gonna go.
Yeah.
And I didn't even realize, they had done that. So it's gonna cost. Right. Get it cleared, right. So now, I'm gonna have to use some quarter pounder of cheese money.
Yeah.
My sons, the hole is to my son's pump split. It's above where it was connected to the pump. So cellar flooded, like 1.5 feet. There's a replacement hose, and there's only the one old hose clamp, and I can't tighten it, I can't loosen it, I can't tighten it because it's screwed so good. But when you push down there, it helps. So when I went over today, there was like 4 inches of water in it. Dan brought me over a hose clamp.
Caitlin made the motion to end executive session and seconded by Don.
All right, we're back, sorry.
Okay, we had another petitioner, please. Up to Al. Again, would you please state your name and address for us?
My name is Doug McMillan, and I'm from Seneca Falls. Give me a second here, let me get some notes up.
You received my email, right, Mr. McMillan?
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay.
Bear with me for a second. I come here, my name is Douglas McMillan. I've said that. Some of you know me, and I know some of you. I'm not concerned about your opinion of me or what my political or your political views are. What I care about is if you know and understand how the Constitution is supposed to work. I do not come here out of wanting to speak. I hate speaking like this. But I feel it's my duty. My family and my bloodline did not come here and call this home in the 1900s. We settled Junius, we settled Berwick, having arrived here as Scottish Jacobites in 1749. I am the son of a Revolutionary War, and my bloodline has spilled blood in every single war or conflict this country has asked it to. So when it comes down to the right to speak, as the patriarch of my clan, my bloodline has earned me the right to speak a minute or two longer than 5 minutes. Trust me, you need to hear it. It is my constitutional duty. Thank you for respecting my constitutional right. Do you know why the Declaration and Bill of Rights are supposed to be upheld at all times? What the Declaration does is describe the people's grievances against the government, how to be ruled by the new government because the old government fell on deaf ears. These are not just rules for the governing, but for we the people to interpret how far from our principles our government's actions have fallen. This country was created through righteousness and can only be maintained by righteousness. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal and they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. How many times just now were we told that they can't be given or taken away, not to be violated, which are our constitutional rights? How many? How many years did Americans not violate them? When did they start to violate them? We already know that violating them, what violating them leads to. They told each way that can control their life: the judicial, the executive, and the legislative. We hold these truths to be self-evident as speaking directly to the judicial branch, immediately speaking about evidence. Verbatim is the only evidence because these rights are self-evident. That all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator. Obviously referring to the presidential office, that the God-given rights that no man can give or take away. Highest governing body, the president that signs bills into law. Taking these words verbatim, this outlaws slavery immediately, but interpreting this right allowed slavery. Exactly what are you doing right now by not getting our gun rights back? That among these certain unalienable rights are life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, which is speaking to the legislative branch, that the rights they are taking an oath to uphold are without doubt and cannot be given or taken away. How many times do we have to tell you governing, these rights must not be infringed, violated, or denied? When you do infringe, violate, or deny any of them, it is our duty, as well as the law of the land, that you are removed from your current office. The Ninth Amendment controls the governing from interpreting or conspiring against these retained rights and principles. No new law shall infringe, be constructed to interpret or limit, disparage, or deny any rights retained by we the people. The 10th Amendment states that if my right is listed in the document, it is supreme law, and it is what your oath is upholding. Among means surrounded by the Bill of Rights, to secure these principles at all costs. That to secure these rights we are governed by men with the consent of the governed. Our founders told the governing what to do and told the people to know how and when to take control back.
Excuse me, Mr. McMillan, I actually have to wrap. I'm going to ask you to wrap it up. But
the Declaration's instructions are crystal clear. There is no interpreting of any intent of meaning needed or allowed. We know why they were written. Command that the state has no right to allow the criminals to outgun the lawful citizen. But right now, why you need to hold New York's gun laws unconstitutional. At this date, at this time, we have open borders, north and south, leadership that is not acting properly for a sovereign nation. The Mexican cartel are invading, sex traffickers are invading, allegations of sex trafficking from our current occupants of the Oval Office that have defunded the police while not keeping criminals off the streets. And
please, sir, please, I've been very patient.
These are not jokes, these are the actions of socialists and communists, extremists advocating to change the way our life is.
Thank you, Mr. McMillan.
The enemies are now outgunning the police who are being tried to defund. It is the law-abiding citizen that is outgunned. Do your job, immediately declare New York State gun laws unconstitutional, not because you want to, but because you have to.
Thank you, sir.
Do your job.
We can have our microphone back.
Thank you. Are you going to stick around for the rest of the meeting? Okay. Can I have a motion? Oh, is there any privilege of the floor? Anybody else would like to speak?
Quarter plus community check.
It's on a nicer note.
You didn't state your name and your address.
Kyle Black.
Okay. Can I have a motion to accept the monthly The reorganizational meeting minutes, please, of January 3rd.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you.
I'll second
Second.
it.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Can I have a motion to accept the public hearing special meeting of
Make a
January
motion.
20th, 2023?
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Everybody had board communications in your packet. The different zoning committee, planning, HPC committees, and other communications are there for your preview. Sale of town property, there's nothing much to report. I did have a meeting this afternoon with the developers for the Portland Avenue area. I also, President of Generations Bank Menzo Case was there, as well as the MRV group, and we're looking at some different options for grants and to get this project moving forward. So I will keep you posted as I find out things. Okay? We had some great news come in yesterday. The town received a micro-enterprise grant for $210,000. Its purpose is to hopefully attract new businesses in downtown and Second Street districts. Thanks to MRB, Rhonda, and Greg Zellers from the Seneca Falls Development Corporation on their work on writing the grant and helping put it all together. This is something that has been on my agenda, so we got the ball rolling through the Development Corporation, and this will basically provide, once it's planned out, up to $25,000 for any business with 5 or fewer employees, and the $25,000 is pretty much open-ended. So it could be used for equipment, it could be used for hardware, it could be used for IT purposes, et cetera, et cetera. So we'll be working through the Development Corporation to roll this out, and hopefully we can attract some people to join us in the downtown area and get rid of the vacant stores. So.
Mike, you said with less than 5 people employed?
I'm sorry, less than 5.
Less than 5?
5 or less?
Five or fewer, so you can have up to 5 employees.
Thank you.
And if you're an owner who also is, by tax purposes, an employee, you will count as one of the 5.
And is
Thank
the
you.
money available for current,
Yes.
Current
Up to 5 or
businesses?
fewer.
just not for new, it's for current people that
Could
have
be used,
stores on there?
could be used for current.
Okay,
Correct.
all right, okay, everybody.
Cannot be used for land acquisition or for purchasing a building. Those are really the only big things that it cannot be used for. So as Mike said, it runs a gamut of really easy to help whatever they need in their business get up and going or to expand.
Thank you.
Okay, also had a meeting today for our, a Zoom meeting for our 3 town-directed DRI projects. We're going to be taking a look at some conceptual design work for the community center, skate park, and some design work for the visitor center, hopefully coming up here. So the timeline, hopefully, we're going to break ground for the skate park in August, hopefully, and hopefully in October we're going to get started on the actual construction for the visitor center, hopefully. The North Side Canal project, which is the largest, that's $3.6 million. If we get that rolling by July or June of 2024, that will be an accomplishment, because the primary job there is the utilities are being all moved out and buried, and when you're working with 6 different utility companies, it's not going to go very quick, but we're working on it, okay? We also received a $56,000 grant that we applied for. This is for local, I always forget what it means, Rhonda.
Local waterfront revitalization plan.
Okay. Local water initiative planning. It's for planning purposes for almost anything connected to the canal or Van Cleef Lake. Again, it would require putting a committee together, and at some point bringing in a consultant on and start working on conceptual ideas, and then going after the real money for the actual project work type of thing. But it's pretty wide open, okay? you know, again, downtown businesses that the back end faces the canal could be used for restoration for those buildings. Again, wide open type of thing. I was talking to Matt Horn today, and you know, this started the process in Geneva where they received, I think, around $7 million in local waterfront development money. So again, thanks to MRV and also Rhonda, and we'll be reporting back to you on the progress of that as well. We opened up bids this week for our manhole project. Good news, bad news. The good news, we got bidders. The bad news is we have $150,000 in the budget for it. We put out to bid 30 manhole replacements, and that will cover about 7 manholes, the $150,000. So I'll be coming back in March. We have some contingency funds in the sewer budget that we may, I think it'd be very cost efficient if we do the whole entire project versus doing some and then going back out to bid later on. The cost is just going to keep increasing. We're about $100,000 short to finish off all 30. Leeson is going to be working with some other bidder who does this business and check it with them. We're also looking at possibly, instead of having road control or traffic control done by the contractor, we would provide our employees to do that to try to take some money away from the total cost. So I'll come back in March with a resolution for your consideration, and then hopefully we can get this project started in the spring. We have a whole bunch of resolutions tonight that are related to the day-to-day business of the town. We got resolutions for a new police vehicle, resolution to send Sergeant Poole to attend the Committee on Policing and Safeguarding Schools. We've already hired the 2 new candidates. We have a resolution to send a water and sewer worker to classes, which is a budgeted items. We have a resolution to purchase 4 new fire hydrants for about $20,000. Mr. Tulo is working on replacing very old water hydrants in the town. So slowly but surely we're trying to work on that. We also have a resolution to send one of our workers to CDL training. Resolution for spare pump for East Barrett Street Pump Station, which is also a budgeted item. Resolution for UV supplies, that's also a budgeted item. Resolution to purchase a truck utility box for the pump station is budgeted. Attorney Morale has reviewed that bid, and it lines up to our procurement policy. We also have a resolution to authorize the town supervisor to enter an agreement with MRV to administer the local water revitalization program grant. We will have an executive session tonight for personnel and legal matters. We have a resolution to modify mobile home park fee schedules. We have a resolution to promote highway department MEO to a heavy mechanic. We also have a resolution to purchase a software subscription to record and transmit worked hours for town employees that town manager Socia has been working on, and he'll explain that. And we also have a resolution to purchase software to track short-term rentals. And
Mr. Supervisor, I mean, the folks have the agenda in front of them, which just lists everything you're reading.
Okay.
And we're going to be going over them one by one anyway. So
okay, I just wanted to make sure that the general.
In the interest of time.
I hear you. I've gotten one complaint that we don't read the whole resolution out, and you know what I'm saying? And I try not to do that because.
No, we can't do that either.
I know.
I agree, but.
Okay.
And if folks.
So noted.
We should post the resolution.
They are.
It's
They are on the
already posted
website. They're on the website.
So if folks are interested, there they are.
Okay. All right. Moving on to new business, approval of special events. Give a motion to approve special events, Seneca County House of Concern, Seneca Falls Little League. And
I'll make a motion. Thanks,
yeah.
A
Make
second.
a motion to approve the events.
Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Back to our public hearing. I have a resolution to.
Yeah, I don't see that.
I got it here, I think. Resolution introducing proposed local,
That's just introduces it. There's not really a resolution.
there's no resolution?
No, you don't need it, just approve it.
Yeah, there's no actual resolution now?
Not this month, it was sent last month with everything, but you have the text of the law?
Yeah.
So, a resolution to adopt the local law as submitted would be sufficient. It's an
I make a
administrative
motion.
thing, so it does not require signature.
I make a motion, we adopt local law number 1, alternative members from planning, ZBA, and HPC boards.
Well done, Frank.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
So carried.
Did C&D already?
So the next two matters are the bids that came in.
Sure.
I'll review them with our highway superintendent, and we received one bid for each request. I see no reason to not go forward with granting the bid, each one that was submitted. The first one is the heavy equipment, which is this one, which was submitted by the George Construction Services of Canastota, New York. And the second one is the tree removal, submitted by Lumberman Tree Service of Phelps. So,
We need a resolution or a motion for that?
Yeah, I
Yes.
make
Each
a
one should be-
motion that
each one
we
should be subject.
accept the bid for heavy equipment rental by D. George.
A second for that, please?
Second.
Any questions? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? And go ahead, Frank.
I make a motion that we accept the tree stump removal from Lamac for that.
Lumberman, okay, second for that one?
I second it.
Thank you. Any discussion on that? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Thank you. Letter F, we went out for RFP for auditors. We received two solicitors.
Gotta do E. How about letter E?
E, planning
Point
board.
B&L.
Oh, yeah, okay. There's no resolution.
No.
Yeah, have a motion to appoint B&L engineers for the Green Spark Solar Project.
I'll make a motion.
And second?
Second.
Okay, just so everybody knows, this doesn't cost the town any money. This is part of B&L's responsibility as the town engineers. The Green Spark people pay their fees. I think we have a...
we have the escrow agreement is in place, it's signed by each side, and this was specifically included when the town board adopted their site plan review. Part of the zoning code that expert fees like this would be paid by the applicant when our boards are reviewing these proposals.
Okay. Any other questions or discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Letter F, we went out with an RFP for auditors. We got two solicitors. The Vanadillo Group was the least expensive. Not that that has to be a priority, but they were the least expensive. They've been doing the town's work for a long time, and we'll be hopefully approving them tonight so they can get started on their auditing work. So could I have a motion to approve the Vanadillo Group
I
as
make
the
a
town's?
motion, we approve the Vanadillo Group as the town auditors for 2023, right?
Correct.
Just for a year or more than 1
It's
year?
for a year.
Okay.
Could I have a second for that?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So carried. Resolution, whereas the water sewer department is seeking to purchase a 2022 Ford F-50 550 truck, cab and chassis pursuant to New York State contract. Whereas the F-550 truck will be purchased from Auto Saver Ford of Comstock, New York. Be it now therefore resolved that the Seneca Falls Town Board hereby authorize the purchase of the truck cab and chassis for the amount of $53,945 pursuant to the quote from the Auto Saver Ford of Comstock, New York, pursuant to General Municipal Law, Section 104.1. Have a motion for that, please.
I make a motion that we purchase the F-55 550 cab and chassis.
And it's a budgeted item. And second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion?
How long are they gonna have to wait to get it? Or is it immediate?
The truck is immediate. They're just waiting to hear from tonight. It'll be sent, and it'll be about 7 weeks for the next resolution that goes with it.
Oh, okay.
What is
That's
it?
not bad.
What is it replacing? Is it replacing anything?
It's replacing another crane truck we have,
How old is the other?
2012 or 13.
What are we doing with that one?
We can sell that on Auctions International after we receive this, and it's in service like the other trucks.
Other questions? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? So carried. Second resolution related to this, whereas Water and Sewer Department is seeking to purchase a utility body and crane to be installed on the F-50 truck, 550 truck. So moved. Second?
Second.
Thank you.
Just so folks know, you can just read the
Yes.
resolve.
I'll be more than happy to do that. With that, any questions for Joe on this? Okay, all in favor, please say aye. Aye, anybody opposed? So carried. I'll take a moment here. Everybody received their board updates from our department people. You also received board updates from Rhonda at MRB and Leeson from B&L. Any questions for these folks? Okay, just so you know that Leeson and myself and Peter and Leeson's supervisor, Eric Kahn, had a Zoom meeting last week and getting caught up on where we are with the equalization tank project and the Kingdom Road project, and things are progressing quite quickly now. So we're waiting. The biggest obstacle on Kingdom Road pump station is New York State Gas and Electric, getting easements from them, but we're working on that, and now we have Peter working on it too.
Yeah, I'd like the assessors, there's gonna be a meeting in February for the public,
February 28th, 6 o'clock at the rec center.
and that's for anybody who would like to come, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And it'll be recorded, and it'll be posted the next day on our webpage. for people to listen.
And that's gonna tell us about the new assessments.
Yes.
Have people received their new assessments yet?
No.
When will they be receiving those?
Sometime in March.
So we're having this meeting before they go out? Is there any plans to have a meeting after they go out?
Will be informal hearings.
Yeah.
After change notices go out. And the change notice could be a lower reduction or an increase. So hopefully you won't get a letter.
So, but if my assessment goes up and I want to have a meeting, there's two opportunities, right? An informal meeting with the consultants, and then finally a grievance with you.
Or a SCAR afterwards.
Right.
So
In May.
my grievance is May 23rd, fourth Tuesday of every May. It's in Ben Franklin put it in the law books way back, and who knows when. But fourth Tuesday of every May, every year.
The only thing that people have received is a verification form that,
Information.
yeah, you have a back porch, or you have a front porch, you have a garage, you have a pool, et cetera, et cetera.
Or a shed.
Yeah. Okay. All righty.
Oh, Mike, I got one question. What, we talked about that 1,000-foot sewer line on that road where you're.
That's coming up.
Oh, that's coming up, okay.
Well, it was in the report, I don't know if you.
Within the report, we provided the cost estimates and the
Right,
figures
yeah.
and the E1 tank representatives' recommendations, and we're.
I guess the question is, are we gonna have a special meeting to discuss those options, or?
The E1 representative offered to come out if the board would like, as I detailed in the email, having homeowners purchase their pumps separately is what drives up those costs. It's more affordable to have a contractor purchase, 300 of them, or in this case, I think there's 45 that would potentially be needed. So we can definitely have them come out if you have further questions, or set up a Zoom meeting if that's easier.
How much did you say, 45?
users, I think that was the number. that
And
we
there's
had.
it's like 9 houses.
I'm sorry, to go all the way up to 318.
Oh,
Was
318.
more- Yeah, yeah, 9 houses that are from Rittmer Lane
So
south
that
to the
would
town.
be, well, that's more than a 1,000-foot sewer project.
Correct, going all the way up. Yeah, we looked
Yeah,
at
so
the three
there's
options.
a few things on the table here.
Correct, there's
So
3 options right
we're
now.
gonna have to meet somehow to understand.
Well, I guess the biggest question is, you know, nobody from the town has actually reached out to these 9 homes.
Right,
Okay.
they
So-
don't know what's going on.
Correct, so, but,
And the other 45 certainly don't know. what's
no,
going on.
not cool. Joe, again, can you refresh our memory, what was the DEC's directive to us about this situation?
I remember they had 2 suggestions, and either way, if the other organization, say, went bankrupt, the town would have to be responsible. Either way, the town has to be responsible.
So, you don't think?
I don't have the email.
No.
I mean, normally sewer districts, water districts, are voted on by the members, the new potential members of those sewer and water districts, and since typically they are the ones that fund them.
Yeah.
But in this case, we took all of the sewer districts, all the disparate sewer districts we had in the town of Seneca Falls, and we put them all in one big district.
Sure.
So I don't know what this one looks like. Are we just bolting it on to the one
What's-
big district we have, and we're sharing the cost amongst all of the,
Sewer people?
all the folks that use sewer in the town of Seneca Falls,
That's-
or are we
that's-
creating a new
Just,
district?
that's ultimately what the DEC is saying, that this is not something that should just be left to the homeowners themselves. This needs to be formalized and made a part of one of the town district,
Well, we only
or
have one.
something like that, exactly. So,
So-
they say,
so how do we-
to them, this is
so
something
when
that
you-
the town needs to address.
If you bolt it onto the one district we have, then the way districts work
Right,
is
makes sense.
those costs get shared amongst the entire district. That's the way it typically works.
Well, this would be an extension that could be, limited to the effective
So it's kind of
parties.
its own district. But
Makes sense.
it would be built
In
in.
a sense, yes. So that, but they would be subject to things like permissive referendum and
Yeah,
all that.
exactly. And the people get to
Yeah.
decide whether they want that or not.
Yes.
But yet the DEC is saying there really isn't a decision here, you have to do something.
Something's gotta get done either way.
But those people, one of the options they have is they could put septic in there.
Yeah.
Right? They could go to the septic solution. They all had one at one time.
And I think many of them still have it, you know.
Yeah. But we've got to really, I think we're gonna have a separate meeting and discuss all of these options.
I guess, Peter, maybe we gotta figure out who the 9 or 10 homeowners are, and, let's figure out tomorrow how we're gonna reach out to them to get them into the group.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else on reports? Okay, next resolution, and I'm just gonna read the title, okay? Whereas the town board realized the need to send operator trainee Ed Thurston to required wastewater operator training.
I make a motion, we send, this employee for the training.
Second, please.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so carried. Resolution, whereas there's a need for a spare pump at the East Baird Street pump station.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you. Second?
I'll second.
Discussion or questions for Joe? All in favor, please say aye. Aye.
I
So-
do like this resolution that it's, and not all of them say this, but I like that little checkbox that says budgeted items.
I like that too.
Rather than having to read in to find if it's a budgeted item. I think we ought to make that a standard practice.
I thought we did, to be honest with you, but.
I like
I think we're getting closer. The
Yeah.
resolutions seem to be getting more standardized, but
Everybody has a standardized resolution form, every department that they
Yeah.
should be using, so.
but they must all be different because they're still coming
Yeah,
in.
I see some are different. Then you got the ones that I write are the best, but.
That was just me, Steve.
Resolution to solicit 3 vendors for purchasing of fire hydrants and parts. It's a budgeted item.
I make the motion.
I'll
Thank you.
second.
Second? Any questions for Joe on this? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
So carried. Resolution, purchase a UV reactor parts water treatment plant. Have a motion for this,
Make a
please.
motion.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
Any questions for Joe on this?
Please don't answer.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? So carried. Have a resolution here, driver CDL training for Joe McLean. Have a motion, or
Make a
motion?
motion.
Motion, thank you. Second?
Second.
Thank you. Any questions or discussion here? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? So carried. Resolution from the town court to attend the 2023 Continuing Judicial Education Training Program at Schenectady, New York.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you. And could I have a second for that?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Any discussion or question?
Yeah, could you read this entire packet?
I did not.
Oh, can you? I'm waiting.
No.
Pretty complete, you gotta admit.
Yeah. Even though I used the wrong resolution form, it's pretty complete. No doubt about that. So, I'm gonna make a note that I gotta make sure that we send him
The judges,
the judges. They have it, but me, probably chucked it. Any questions or discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? So carried. I have a resolution providing the town supervisor to authorize MRB to be the grant administrator for the local waterfront revitalization program grant. Second?
Second.
Thank you. Any questions? Steve, I did this resolution. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? So carried. Resolution.
Check the box.
I'm sorry?
Didn't check the box.
Well,
Budgeted,
it's not budgeted, that's why. Well, I guess it's budgeted. It's
found money.
budgeted, it's grant, it's in the, yeah, I should have checked the back, you're right.
It's found money.
Modification to mobile home park fee schedule within the town fee schedule. Have a motion for this, please.
Make a motion.
And second?
Second.
Any questions for Peter Pacelli on this? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? So carried. Have a resolution promoting highway department, MEO heavy mechanic. The person is James Duffy to be promoted to MEO heavy mechanic. Have a motion for that, please.
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Second.
Any questions for Jeremy on this?
And this will increase his, so everybody knows, his hourly rate from $23.10 to $26.
And Jeremy, correct me if I'm wrong, he will be doing the mechanical work.
Yes.
That,
And he's
as much as
he's
feasible.
open to doing it between all the departments as well.
And Jeremy, why don't you tell the board what you're thinking about as far as inspections and so forth?
I'm thinking about, and I've been pricing things to do in-house inspections on all of our vehicles. I think it's the price of it's worth it. By the time you take two drivers to drop off a vehicle, go pick it back up, in all actuality, it will save the town money. He right now has his inspector's license for motorcycles and small vehicles. He will go and get his next class for the heavy equipment that we have.
So Jeremy's looking into the price of the computer. Certainly we won't do anything, come to the board for approval, but just something that he's thinking about that, he could go to a class and he could be certified to do in-house inspections on all our police cars, all our vehicles, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know, we'd have to obviously weigh the cost factor. I don't know exactly how much it would cost, but we'll come back with you at some point.
And the state, they're good with that? I mean, it seems like it's a box, potentially, right, watching the hen house. I'm not saying it would be here, but just in general.
The highway department does it now. Out in, down around us, they do their own.
Okay, so it's something that the state condones.
Yep.
Okay.
I agree that this one got box in there. Okay, thanks, Jeremy.
Can we bring our vehicles?
Only on Sundays. I have a resolution here, promotion of highway department.
We didn't vote on that.
We didn't vote on that. I'm sorry. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? So carried. Have a resolution to promote Sean Van G to position of MEO. His salary will go from $21.53 to $22. Could I have a motion for that, please?
Make a motion.
Second. Any discussion or questions for Jeremy on that? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? So carried. Nikki, do we have to approve this?
If you, yes, you have to approve waiving that 30-day notice period. They're supposed to give the municipality 30-day notice of
Yeah.
any application for a liquor license.
So Nikki received a letter from an attorney, CTR Waterloo LLC, located on Route 414. They're asking for a liquor license. Please be advised that my client intends on filing an on-premise hotel beer, wine, and spirits liquor license application for the above referenced premises. To that end, please file and enclose herein 30-day notice of that effect. Can I have a motion to accept the 30-day notice? Pardon?
On 414?
Because they're late.
I mean, we don't, Santa Claus doesn't go very, is it south?
I'll make a motion so we can
Yeah.
discuss it anyway.
Motion second.
So it's the Holiday Inn.
Holiday Inn?
Oh,
No,
Holiday Inn.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, all
So I
right.
think you got to change over.
Yeah, change of ownership. There you go. Okay, so we got a motion and a second.
Who seconded that motion?
This just, Frank made the motion, I believe. and-
Hmm?
I don't have a resolution.
There's no resolution.
Oh, there's no
There's no resolution.
Okay, so who seconded? All they
There
sent
was a
was
letter
their
requesting it,
application.
Right.
What's that?
And a letter requesting the waiver of the 30-day notice period. All they have to do is notify us that they're renewing or getting a liquor license.
Got it.
And then we just have to waive it or not, and let them wait the 30 days.
When is their 30 days?
30 days from the
That's us.
date of that letter that they sent.
January 12th.
So it's February 12th, almost there now.
Okay, all in favor of providing the waiver, the 30-day waiver, please say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? So carried. I have a resolution to purchase a software license to track short-term rental property usage. Can I have a motion for that, please?
I'll make a motion, we,
Have a second?
the software.
Second?
Second.
Thank you. Peter, did you have an opportunity to check in with the county?
I checked in with them the last time we spoke about this, and they didn't think it was possible for us to have access to it, and I called again yesterday and was not able to get.
So Les didn't get back to you?
He did not, and he was in training today, so.
So, I don't know, Frank, if everybody saw Frank's email when I sent this out. Frank, go ahead, you can explain.
No, I just sent it to you. The,
Oh, okay.
the county, contracts with this company, and, I'm on the website with the treasurer. I'm working with him on these short-term rentals. And the other day I counted, 36 short-term rentals between Lower Lake Road, and Lake Road Spur that have already been identified. And, you know, we can, give the approval to give the software depending on if our zoning officer, Peter, you know, if he could be made a partner on the county, which I believe you can, the only thing you wouldn't be able to see is how much the short-term rental takes in a year's period of time. And you're really not interested in that anyway. Only the treasurer's interested in that so he can balance the book. So we can meet with Les and see. I don't have any problem approving it, but if we can get you, the county, Les makes you a partner on this, have your own identification and everything to look at what the county has, then
We don't need it.
we wouldn't need it.
Yeah, they
You know,
can do that.
You'd be a partner in with the county.
Yeah, if they could do that, that'd be fine, just when I spoke to Les the last time, he didn't think.
Yeah, but we've had some meetings now with the company and we've listed a number of partners that are gonna be able to look at it. So like Chamber of Commerce, some guy down in so
If that's possible for me to have access, that's absolutely fine. My only concern was when I got the initial list of the short-term rentals, I went through them and there were a ton of mistakes. I don't know if it was from when they transferred it from the website itself to the Excel spreadsheet that they sent me, But as long as the information is gonna be accurate and I'll have direct access myself, that's fine.
Okay.
So, I'll move we table this.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we got a motion to table it, I'll second it, it's just a matter of Frank, if you could help facilitate that with Les. All in favor of tabling this to the next month, please say aye. Aye, anybody opposed? So carried. I have a resolution to purchase software subscription to record and transmit the hours worked for town employees to an automated payroll system. Have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
And a second?
Second.
Peter, you're up.
So this is the snap-on to the new payroll system. Since we have the ability now to actually move time recording out to where it actually happens and have it do record real-time digitally, so we don't have to do timesheets anymore. It's relatively inexpensive. It comes out to approximately $200 a month. By my calculations, we spend at least $400 to $500 a month in paper or in people time. Not to mention the mistakes that get made in the transpositions in the timesheets when we load them. So this should reduce our costs, provide much better information to the payroll system, and also provide better information to the employees because they'll have real-time access to holidays, what their sick leave is, all those things that this technology lends itself to. You know, to roll it out, we're going to do like 1 or 2 departments. The water department has graciously volunteered to prototype this for us, and we'll probably find one more just to make sure that it's working okay. You know, we'll try to sort it out. It has different ways to do it. We can buy time clocks. We can use our phones. There's a bunch of different ways that we can record it. But ultimately, lowers cost, increases information and accuracy to the payroll system.
And if we're using our phone, we can't clock in from my bedroom.
Yes,
right?
no, it stamps where you clock in from, yes.
And just so everybody knows, the police department already has this automated system in place. It's been in place for quite a long time, and it works out great for the police department, and it works out great for the finance office because they're getting the report off of that, and so now it's all integrated.
Yeah, we've had it for several years now. The program we have actually it keeps track of our vehicle maintenance, miles, oil changes, gas per gallon. It also does our schedule, does our payroll, does all our vacation, accrued times. So it does grant activity reports. It does numerous things built within that program we have.
Do the individuals put in their own time in the system?
So we can set the schedule out a year ahead of time, and if shift change, we can change it. So patrolmen are not allowed to change the schedule. It had to be a supervisor or above to actually change the hours or authorize overtime.
So individuals do not post their own hours each week?
No.
Okay.
But they're already pre-programmed.
Okay, pre-programmed. But in departments, right, people are gonna.
It can work either way.
They come in different
Right.
times.
Yeah.
So you talked about time clocks. I mean, there's an expense with time clocks in the maintenance thereof. And they aren't necessarily really liked, right?
We don't need to use them. I'm saying we could. If we choose, that's the option we want to use.
I mean,
You can just a
I mean, this would
computer.
work really well if everybody has access to a computer. They put in their time.
And that's what we plan to do.
So all the employees will have access to a computer?
Highway, computer,
So we're gonna
water.
be buying more computers?
No. No.
Water and sewer has computer at the water treatment plant.
We're all set.
We're all set. Highway has a computer that needs to be upgraded anyway. It's 1995.
I've actually got one of my
Jim
office.
Peterson would not let
Right.
it give it up. And we're replacing that with a laptop that we have, one that was somebody owned. And
The rec center.
Rec Center's got a computer. You, right? You got a computer and you. All the finance, so yeah, everybody's all set. Okay, any other questions, discussion?
So if they're checking in on their computer, can they just put the time in, or do they hit a button and it punches in itself?
The ladder, yeah, you hit enter, you can do it, you can either do it every day, there's lots of different ways you can do it. But you can do it every day, they can go on Friday morning and type in all their time and hit enter, then it rolls up to the supervisor has to look at it, approve it, and then it'll roll to my office. And then I hit enter and it magically goes to the cloud and the paychecks get cut.
So all employees have to do this?
Eventually, if you do a timesheet.
So, yeah, the 3 clerks in the office would do this. And you would verify their time. The supervisors verify each employee's time when it hits their desk. Other questions? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? So carried. Resolution declaring photocopier surplus. Have a motion for this, please.
I make a motion.
And a second?
Second.
Thank you. Peter, this was something that was handed down from the courts to you and no longer works, correct? Correct. And am I gonna get a resolution, are we gonna get a resolution next month for a new copier?
Unless the one that I have now stops working, no.
Okay, good. Good. Okay. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? So carried.
Everybody's good.
I have a resolution, the police department seeks approval of the town board to purchase a new desktop computer. Kind of ironic. The police department seeks approval of the town board to purchase a new desktop computer.
But not
the
for
clerk's
time
office.
recording.
I have a motion for this,
I'll
please.
make a motion.
Thank
I
you.
make a motion
Second.
to get it.
Thank you. Any questions for Chief Snyder? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. So carried. I have a motion here to declare the following items surplus for the police department: 2015 Dodge Charger, $62,264.
I make a motion, we declare the Dodge Charger surplus.
Second for that, please.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion or questions for Chief Snyder? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? So carried. I have a resolution here, has been requested by Sergeant Michael Poole to attend the 2023 CPAS School Safety Conference held
Make a
February.
motion.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
Thank you. It's a budgeted expense. The police department's not using the right form either.
Yeah, just so you know.
Son of a gun.
So it's on camera, I did make a note to use yours from now on. I'm on it, so.
But you can add the shield to it.
All right.
Any questions for Chief Snyder? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? So carried. I have a resolution here. Please start receive approval from the town board authorized Enterprise Fleet Management Order 1 2022 budgeted approved vehicle. Motion for that, please.
I make the motion.
Thank you. And seconded?
Second.
Thank you. Chief Snyder has attached the documentation, the paperwork. Councilwoman Laskowski and myself reviewed it with him as well. It was good to go. Any questions for Chief Snyder on this? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? So carried. I have a request from Jerry Goodnow, the board chair of Seneca Falls Development Corporation. Dear Nikki, I hereby request that the funds allotted to the Seneca Falls Development Corporation 2023 town budget be transferred to the SFDC in accordance with town procedures and practice. The amount is the budget allocation is $68,400. Can I have a motion to
Make a motion.
send their money to them? Second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? So carried. Can I have a motion to approve the water leak pool credits for the month of January?
Are we gonna do them one at a time or just this one?
I can do them one at a time, I can do them all together.
I'll make a motion.
All at once, all right. I make a motion, we approve the water credits.
Okay. There's one large one, I got a second on that. There's one large one on there, okay? I have the inside story. The landlord who requested the credit could not evict the tenants, okay? They wouldn't let them. So there was a leak in the basement that our water and sewer people went and, yeah, there's a leak, but the tenant would not let the landlord in the house. And it took them the better part of 5 months to get them evicted legally. And so that's why that seems like a little large, but it's a legitimate, we were involved in that the whole time. All in favor of water leak pool credits, please say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? So carried. Have a motion to pay the bills.
I make the motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So carried. I have a motion here. I move that the board go into executive session to discuss ongoing litigation pursuant to Public Officers Law 105D to discuss the following ongoing litigation: Seneca Metals Incorporated versus the Town of Seneca Falls, Rumsey Fall LLC versus the Town of Seneca Falls, Hugo Nation versus Seneca Falls, and Foster versus the Town of Seneca Falls.
Nobody likes us.
I invite attorney Patrick Morrell and town manager Pete Socia to the executive session. And we also have a personnel issue to discuss. So
We got a motion to go in executive session.
Thank you.
for everything that's stated.
Thank you. Second. Folks, you're more welcome to stay, but if I was you, I'd go home.
We're not gonna have any action when we come out?
There is some action, possible action. There is some possible action on the, on one thing. There is. So it's not that controversial, but there's some possible action.
What's the one thing, just so the folks know?
We have to establish a salary for the true elected positions coming up. Town clerk and highway superintendent, just to allow the people who are running for office to know what's going on. Okay. Thank you for being here. Ta-da. Paul, you can, we'll fake it, all right? Ralphie, how are you, buddy?
Wonderful. You, my friend? Good.
All right, here, help us out.